Sometimes I see advice floating around online. I just shake my head. The other day I came across this bold statement: you should split your Amazon PPC budget 60% into sponsor product, 30% into sponsor brands, and 10% into sponsor display. And my first reaction was, wow, that's not just oversimplified. It's actually misleading. For those who don't know me, I'm Sami, and I run Labels Growth, an agency that helps brands scale on Amazon with full A to Z account management, including PPC. I have worked with hundreds of products across multiple marketplaces, and let me tell you, rigid rules like that don't reflect reality. So let's go through what the data actually says and why following cookie cutter formulas can cost you serious money. Here's what I've seen when analyzing real world accounts and cross checking with other large scale data sets. The overwhelming majority of ad spend, nearly 90%, actually flows into sponsor products. Think about that. If you only allocated 60% there, you'd be holding back around 30% of your budget from the campaign type that brings the highest conversions on Amazon. That gap could mean lost sales opportunities and weaker ranking strategy. To put this into perspective, sponsor products are essentially the backbone of Amazon advertising. They drive the most visibility, they have the strongest purchase intent, and they cover everything from branded keywords to competitor targeting. Sponsor brands and a sponsor display definitely have their place, but they are secondary levels, not your primary engine. The actual breakdown I have seen across accounts line up like this. About 89% of spend in sponsor products, roughly 9% in sponsor brand, and just under 2% in sponsor display. That's consistent not only in my experience but also in what other agencies are reporting. One agency managing over 1,000 accounts reported nearly identical ratios, with sponsor products still dominating. Now, does that mean sponsor brands and sponsor displays aren't important? Absolutely not. Sponsor brands can be a great way to showcase your brand registry, highlight multiple products, and build long-term recognition. Sponsor display has been improving year after year, especially with retargeting options and cross-platform placements. But compared to sponsor products, they simply don't convert at the same level, at least not yet. Here's where it gets interesting. Though same some data points suggest sponsor display might actually be underutilized in some cases. Ad sales generated from display are indexing higher than the spend, showing strong returns. That makes me think that while the majority of spend should still be in sponsor products, testing a slightly larger display allocation could be smart for certain brands. And then there's DSP, demand side platform. If you have been watching the news, you know Amazon recently pulled back on Google Shopping ads. That's significant because it means sellers who use the benefit from that external traffic will need to find other ways to capture demand. DSP is one of the most effective tools to do just that. It lets you tap into audiences off Amazon and drive them back into your listing. What's more, the entry threshold for DSP has come down. It used to be something you'd only consider with a 50,000 US dollars monthly ad budget. Now agencies like mine are rolling it out for brands with as little as 15,000 to 20,000 US dollars in monthly spend. That's a huge shift. It means DSP is no longer just for massive players. It's accessible and it's powerful. So let's wrap this up. If your PPC allocation looks like 60/30/10, you're probably underfunding the campaigns that matter most and underfunding the ones that don't convert as efficiently. The real world data is clear. Sponsor products should be the core focus, with sponsor brands and display used strategically around it. And if you haven't expanded to DSP yet, this might be the perfect time to test it. At Labels Growth, this is exactly what we do: help brands cut through the noise and focus on strategies that actually work. If you need help scaling your Amazon brand, feel free to reach out at info@labelsgrowth.com or visit labelsgrowth.com.